Ashley White here at Carolina First Arena. This week's campus conversation will be with basketball's head coach, Coach Cremins. I will talk with Coach Cremins about 3 of his players going on to professional careers in the upcoming season. Sit back and watch this week's campus conversation.
What made you make the decision to come and coach at the College of Charleston?
Well, I was out of coaching 6 years, Ashley, and I wasn't sure I was ever going to coach again. And things happened here, and they let their coach go. And then things really got crazy. But the bottom line was I wanted to coach again. I had lost my purpose. I was doing TV commentating, doing a lot of charity work, golf outings, and so forth. But I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. That's what I call purpose. And all of a sudden, this opportunity came out of nowhere. And it gave me an opportunity to, number one, do what I was supposed to be doing, coaching. I left Georgia Tech in the year 2000. I was going to take 1 or 2 years off and then go back to coaching. And then that didn't happen. And all of a sudden, 6 years came and went, and I thought I'd never coach again. In a lot of ways, this was godsend, and it's really worked out a great fit for me and hopefully for the college.
Throughout your career, you have been known as a top recruiter, getting Kenny Anderson, Dennis Scott, and Stephon Marbury, who were all #1 in their classes. What is your strategy for recruiting?
Recruiting here is different than recruiting, say, at Georgia Tech. You know, with the high power conferences, you get a lot of McDonald's All-Americans, first team All-Americans, because of the TV exposure and so forth. Our conference is, you know, we don't have that high power rating, but we're a very good conference. And what we have to do here is we have to get sleepers, sort of like what Davidson did when they got Stephon Curry. The high power conferences thought he was too skinny, and all he did was become first team All-American. Wofford had an outstanding player by the name of Noah Dahlman, and people thought he was a little small. He was an inside player around 6'5", 6'6". He's a great player. We've been fortunate to get a couple players like that, the latest of course being Andrew Goudlock. So recruiting is different. We got to find kids who can play at the high level but are not necessarily being heavily recruited by them.
Along with those greats from Georgia Tech, you have recruited some pretty good players at College of Charleston in Jemery, Simmions, Donavan, Monroe, and Andrew Goudlock. What did you see in these players that made you bring them to the College of Charleston?
Well, you know, Jemery Simmions, I went to Atlanta and I watched him play in the state championship game, and he made a couple of great blocks, and I loved him. And he was being recruited by other schools, not high-power conference schools. And, you know, Jemery was an outstanding player for us. Unfortunately, last year he had the blood clot and missed the end of the season, last 13 games. It was really unfortunate for him and obviously for us. But Jemery, I love the way he blocked shots. I love the way he rebounded. Andrew Goudlock, I saw him play in Atlanta. He was a scorer, but I had no idea he would do what he has done. We knew he could score the ball, but we had no idea he would just turn out to, you know, have such great range and be such a prolific scorer. He really got better. Donavan, we knew was a tough kid. He was a winner. We saw him. He was at a prep school. He was at a military school, Fork Union, and he was just tough. He played hard. And so those guys, you know, once I saw them, I fell in love with them. And we're so happy that we got those guys. But again, Andrew Goudlock, we had no idea what we were getting when we got Andrew Goudlock.
He was the 46th overall pick in this year's NBA draft. He is also the all-time scorer for the school with 2,571 points. How do you think he will do in the NBA?
He has a chance to play in the NBA. Now, he got drafted in the 2nd round, which means it's no guaranteed. He's got to go, you know, once the lockout is over. He'll have to go to the Lakers and actually try out. But they really like him. They drafted him. So he has a chance. I think he has a good chance. You know, he's got to work on his defense. He's got to work on his ball handling. But again, he's an incredible scorer of the basketball. And he's matured a lot, especially in the last 2 years here at the college. During the lockout, he has come back to school. He's the only senior that did not graduate. He changed majors and really got behind. But during the lockout, he's taken 2 tough courses, and I'm really proud of him. So he'll definitely have a chance, but he's going to have to play well once the lockout is over and training camp begins.
Goudlock is not the only one taking his career to the professional level. Jemery Simmions as well as Donavan Monroe are playing overseas.
I think they're great overseas players. They'll get knocked around a little bit. A lot of these overseas players, they go from country to country, but they both have great chances to be outstanding overseas players, and they can make a lot of money, save it. They have great skills, and again, I talked about Donovan as a person. So I expect them both to do well, and you know, I think, you know, regardless, you know, whenever they give up basketball, they both have their degrees. They're going to go on with life and be fine. You know, Jemery, Donovan, and Drew, of course, they were all conference players, and they were really fun to coach.
With these 3 players going on to their professional careers and 2 other players graduating, how do you feel the Cougars will do in this upcoming season?
Yeah, we have a challenge. We have a new team, and we have a different team. I meet with my staff a lot, and we talk a lot about basketball philosophy and how we need to change some things. We don't have the threat of a kid coming, you know, over half court and just shooting it anymore. We don't have one of the best scorers in the country anymore. We don't have one of the best shot blockers. But we have some good players, and we had a really good recruiting year. So it's a new year, it's a new team, it's different. I'm definitely going to miss those 3 guys. Our league, our conference had a lot of great seniors last year. So, you know, we're not going to be the only one. Wofford, I mentioned Noah Dahlman. Wofford, you know, they lost Noah Dahlman. Appalachian, they lost a great guard in Sims. So many other players in our league. So it's all part of, you know, building a program, kids, you know, coming and going. But I think we have something going. We got great enthusiasm. We play an incredible schedule. And right now, my big thing is I want to keep it going. I want to keep the positive enthusiasm that we have. We have good kids. We have kids who are graduating. And the fans are behind us. The city's behind us. The students have been great. And we got to keep that going.
Well, I wish you and the Cougars a great season, and I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to do this interview.
Oh, thank you, and good luck in this class.
Thank you.
Coach Cremins is excited about the upcoming season. Catch the Cougars in their first home game on October 11th versus Holy Cross. Be there or be square. I'm Ashley White with Campus Conversation.